Good
Hi,
morning.
five.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hello, happy Monday.
There we are. Good morning, everybody.
Happy September.
No way. Really? Oh, yeah.
September. It's true. Can't deny it anymore. So we welcome you this morning. I'm Julia Flynn Werre, coming to you from the East Coast where it's 10 a.m. Nice and late compared to Sarah Coolidge. Sarah's coming to us from the West Coast. Sarah, say hi.
Good morning, everybody. Yep, it's 7 o'clock in the morning here in California, so this is perfect because we're just getting our day started, and this is the way to start it. Thanks for joining us.
And we also have Linda Kaye from New Hampshire, who's also on the East Coast, so she's like me, 10 a.m. Hi, Linda.
Good morning. Well, hello from a very crisp New England this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Chris.
It is definitely September.
uh, snuck up on us.
It's nice and hot and humid here in Baltimore, and I love every minute of it.
Mm.
It's very, very warm. 2 days ago, it was so hot. It was so humid, actually, is what it was. That at a lot of the high schools, they had to cancel a lot of the athletic events because the teenagers were dropping like flies from the humidity. So they were postponing runs and walks and things like that. So all across the country, you've got three women here, entrepreneurs all over the country, and we have different perspectives, different ideas, and different thoughts about what to do to market your business and become a better, faster, and more productive entrepreneur while staying motivated every single week. And that is why we get together on Monday mornings, is so that we can talk about how we stay motivated. And we attribute the wonderful name of Monday Motivation, Monday Momentum, to Sarah Coolidge. And Sarah, tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, Julia. Every single minute of every day is a new opportunity to do something. Every time you get up in the morning, it's a brand new day. And of course, for us, Monday is a brand new week, just in our system that we use here in this country and pretty much internationally. So the idea is remembering, recognizing where we are right now, and that whatever you did yesterday, last weekend, last week, last month, last year, does not matter anymore. It's a new beginning. And for those of us who are running businesses, entrepreneurs, especially those who are working out of their own homes, we tend to or can get distracted or a little bit off track, confused perhaps. Maybe we're doing our laundry when we should be making marketing calls, things like that. And so the idea behind this program is to remind us, okay, it's Monday, 7 a.m., you're up and running. Let's get the momentum going in the right direction, and let's have it carry you all the way through this week, or at least through this day, maybe only through this next couple hours, but whatever it is, if it's the right direction, it's going to move you the way you want to go. And just setting that intention every Monday morning, we know for us and our own success, it's helped us a lot, and we wanted to share that with you. So,
And the momentum can carry on till Friday
mhm,
to the next hangout, which
that's
Julia
true.
can talk about.
So every Friday, hi Carol Ann Little, good to see you this morning. Every single
Hello.
Friday, we also get together at, I have to post the time because it's a secret time. It's a secret meeting. It's a members only meeting for $7 per month, which is such a low subscription fee. You can join the three of us as we spend closer to 60 minutes together on Fridays and go into greater depth and detail on specific products and technology items that we use for sales and marketing to help with the speed and the production of all of the things that we are doing in sales and marketing to move our businesses forward. And I welcome you to join us with that. You can contact me, Julia, at juliaflynnwerre.com, or Word of Mouth Wired, or you can contact Sarah or Linda to find out how to do the $7 per month subscription. You're actually getting us for 4 hours per month for $7. That's 2 cups of coffee. That's incredible. That's a deal and a half.
That's only one cup of coffee in California. Sorry.
Oh no, that's terrible. We do have additional material that we can share with you each week as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But first and foremost, I would like to talk about a neat little tool that I used to use back in the day. I had forgotten that it existed, and I just rediscovered it again. It is a free tool, and I'm going to ask my 2 counterparts if they've ever heard of this or have ever used it. Have either of you ever used Google's sort of kind of autoresponder, free autoresponder tool that is offered?
No, I didn't even know they had one.
Google Alert.
They sort of kind of have one.
Not Google Alerts, but it's in the email function.
An autoresponder for your emails? I mean, besides like a I'm on vacation kind of a thing, something else?
Yes, ma'am. Something
that's
else.
Great. I can't wait to hear about it.
Have you ever heard of that before, Linda?
What's it called?
Can't remember the word at the moment. I'm going to show you 2 ladies, but I just want to fill you in a little bit on what was happening. So I am a serial entrepreneur, as I think all 3 of us are, and actually I know Carol, who's joined us this morning, is also a serial entrepreneur, meaning we have lots of businesses. So let's say someone reaches out to you regarding one specific line of business or one specific product or service, and you're not necessarily going to be able to get back to them immediately, but you want to acknowledge them. There is a way to do that. Or you want to drop in some specific content to an email every single time that you email someone out. I'm going to show you how to do that. So Sarah, I just switched over to your picture, I think.
You did.
No, there we go. Okay,
I'm
going to do a screen share, and I'm going to show this to you all while I have it right here.
Yeah, what I see right now, just for everybody else, because we're all still new on Hangouts, what I'm seeing right now is a frozen shot of Carol Ann.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. There, now we have your screen share. There we go.
Oh, good. Excellent. Now we have a screen share. Okay, so at this moment, I'm hoping that what you're seeing is my Gmail, my personal private Gmail here. And then right here you see a new message that I'm going to compose. But what's interesting is if you drop all the way down into the lower right corner, so here's the email message, and you drop all the way down to the lower right corner, and it says more options, you click that. That's what it's called, canned responses. Canned responses.
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Yeah.
So you're flipping back and forth between whoever's talking and your screen share, and I'm not sure if that's what you want to do, but I'm thinking maybe if you, as moderator of the Hangout, so you can see your screen share, because you have 2 computers open, it looks like to me, and freeze it by clicking on that small image so that we aren't flipping back and forth while you talk about this. Does that make sense?
I thought I was doing that. Even on my little screen, I thought that's what we're doing. Let's try that again.
Okay, because right now we can see you.
All right.
And now we see your screen. And sometimes there's a way to freeze that. You know, now we're seeing Carol Ann, or I am.
Well,
now we're back to your
not Sarah, so I suggest you click on Julia's image, because it is not moving for me.
Okay, so maybe we each individually, Carol Ann as well, need to click on the small box below that has the picture of Julia's Gmail, if you don't want it to flip around. And that'll do it. Yeah, that did it for me. And that'll do it for anyone else out there that's watching that has not decided to join in. So I think if they haven't joined in, they might not be able to do it anyway. Never mind. Thank you. These are all the technical things about working with Hangouts, and we're getting so good at it. I love it. All right, now onward and upward.
Okay, great. So hopefully at this point you are all seeing my screen, which is what I'm hoping that you're seeing, is you're seeing my screen and you're seeing my email. That's what I'm seeing, in fact, on my little extra computer over here as I'm seeing my screen. What I'm showing you is my Gmail, which I prefer to use Gmail over any other email service because it is free. Everything is in the cloud, and it makes my life a lot easier. So when I hit the Compose button here on the left side of the screen, and a Compose box pops up, in the lower right corner of my screen, What I see here is a More Options button and a Canned Responses button. And that Canned Responses allows me to insert a brand new, I can insert a brand new canned response that will automatically go out to any of my people who email me. So getting back to why I thought this was important is that you can't always be in two places at one time, and you can't always be responding to a client when they respond to you. So I'm going to say, thanks for your inquiry about Make Some Money, Honey. That's my canned response, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in content. And when I come down here to the lower right, canned responses, I can hit Save New Canned Response. It allows me to enter name and hit OK. What it will also allow me to do is it will also allow me to delete it or save over it. I can just save it. It'll allow me to insert the content right there into the email that I'm sending. I just go to canned responses and hit insert, and it pops into there, and I can mail it out to my clients. That is extremely important for not having to retype your content every single time you get an email from someone. That's the first thing. But I told you that it was an autoresponder, and you're probably thinking, well, she didn't make it an autoresponder. But I can, because what I can do is I can say, okay, this is my thanks for your inquiry. Right here, I type the canned response in. I'm going to label it as a Make Some Money, Honey.
Oh boy.
Label. And create it new. And then I'm going to save it. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it so that every time somebody who I can move forward, and I can make it so that every single time, there I am again, every single time somebody contacts me and gets the automatic label of Make Some Money, Honey, they automatically get my autoresponder. Now, if I move too quickly, if that seems a little complicated, and if you'd like a little bit greater depth and detail, that's why we get together on Fridays. If this kind of information of how do I speed up my productivity is of interest to you, that is what we like to talk about at greater length. Now, we're only together for 30 minutes every Monday morning, so we can't really go over everything. What we can do is share with you some wonderful tips, techniques, technology that you might be interested in using. If you don't want to get involved, come in and meet with us on Fridays, you can go to google.com, go to YouTube, and say, how do I use canned responses? And you're going to find some great videos brought to you by other people. So I want to share that with you because I think that that's an amazing tip and an amazing trick that I had been using for years and forgot all about and brought it right back. What do you think, Linda?
Well, it's interesting. I typically don't use Gmail because I use my personal domain, but I noticed that you have your setup that you are using your personal domain with Gmail. So are you on one of the subscription services with Gmail, or you're just using the free version?
I do just use the free version. I'm always on the free products whenever I can be on the free products. Thank you for bringing that up. That's another tip that I like to share with people is how they can use their proprietary domain, like mine is Word of Mouth Wired or Julia Flynn Werre or one of my other domain names. I can make that an alias and I can still use my Gmail. Sarah, we did that together, didn't we?
Yeah, we've been working on it, and you know, it's one of those things where I wish I didn't have so many different domains in so many different places, because some of it is more challenging than others. It's way easier to do with other Gmail addresses, but it is doable, and I'm really grateful for the way that working with you and also Google, you know, are being able to bring all that together for me. And it sounds to me like, when I understand this better, which maybe it will be on Friday or I'm not sure when, that this is also going to help. It's another thing that's going to help keep track of people, because, you know, we talked about this last week. I come home, you know, daily with new contacts, and they're new contacts for different things. And, you know, sometimes it's like I'm not quite sure, but I don't want to lose this contact. You know, this was a person I met. And if I had a way to automatically do more, anytime I have a way to automatically do more, it's going to be better for me.
I agree. I think if you can speed up, if you can use technology to speed up your productivity or even your response time, it will help you to make more money in the long run. It'll help you be more effective and make more money in the long run. And actually, Linda was quite an inspiration because I got to thinking to myself, how in the world can I possibly do an autoresponder so that I can reach my client base faster? If nothing else, just acknowledge them. And it's funny because this reminds me of when you go into a restaurant. And again, we're back to the whole food service industry. But you know, when you go into a restaurant and you sit down, isn't it nice when someone, if
No,
nothing else, they walk over and say hello and say, "I acknowledge you."
of course. We all want to be acknowledged and seen, and we're willing to be a lot more patient when we know that we have been.
I agree, and I think we're willing to forgive a lot of other things that are going on as long as you know you're being acknowledged. And when I was first in sales, I used to get so intimidated. If a client was reaching out to me and there was a problem or a concern or whatever it was, I just was horrified, terrified, paralyzed with fear that something was going to happen. I was going to lose them as a client or whatever my fear was. So I was kind of avoiding people and living in an avoidance kind of a place. And now I realize that more than anything, people just want to know that you are aware that they've contacted you, or that you're aware that they have a need and you're going to do everything you can to respond to them. What I was showing you with that canned responses is there's two ways to utilize that tool. One is as an autoresponder, which is a little tricky to set up. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm gonna admit that. Admittedly, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's several steps. We can work on it. But where I was really using that tool was someone would send me an email about an event, or they would send me an email about a product or service they had to offer, and I wanted to quickly reply to them and say, "Gosh, this looks like a great widget. I am so impressed with your widget. I just want you to know that I have a way that might be able to help you additionally. So here's some information about how I might be able to work with you. And if nothing else, join me in my free networking event that I'm having next week." And literally, that was already
Yeah.
pre-typed out.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I love it. It's nice to. I mean, if you're doing a um, sort of standard response to people with an email that says, it was great to meet you, and yes, I look forward to talking to you soon, and here's my website or whatever. If you don't have to type that over and over again, and if you don't have to, I mean, what I've been doing is typing those kinds of things up, saving them in a Word file that's over there on my desktop. I have to go over there, find the right one, copy, paste it, text it into, and I mean, that's way better than back in the day when we didn't even have computers and it was so much harder. But this makes it easier, and I like that.
well, good. I'm super glad that I was able to bring you a little tool, a little nugget that you might be able to try. And Linda, had you ever seen canned responses before?
I'm familiar with the technique. One thing that I wish that they would do, though, is take an autoresponder and make it not go out immediately. Give it a delay so it looks like a personal answer.
That is
That'd be
really
cool.
thoughtful. That is actually really cool. Like if you could have a little button that was a delay. It is an autoresponder, but wait 37 minutes or 68 minutes or
So it
something
looks like
like.
you're really responding.
I love it. You're so smart. That is really cool. I love that. That's
Send it
awesome.
on into Google. You're right. That's true. Or if you cannot control that because you're using Google. I've certainly worked with other things where you can set up a time of how soon do you want this to go out. But if you can't do it, you could even put forgive that this is an automatic reply, but I wanted to make sure that you heard from me right away. And you just put it right in there because it's, acknowledging. I know that you are smart enough to see that this is automatic, that this is not me answering you right now because
Yeah.
couldn't have done it that fast. There's just no way. So let's just bring it on right out there, and you could even throw it in there. This is called what's it called? A canned response. And it's a really helpful tool, and if you're interested in learning more about it, it's another reason to stay in contact with me
Oh
and
my God,
use
that's
it that
awesome.
way.
What a
Because
great.
it's the same thing you said before, Julia. Even though we have all this technology, which is really powerful, really wonderful, I mean, I just think it's, like I said before, the most coolest time to be alive. We're all still human beings. We want to know that there's another human being that's noticed us, acknowledged us, seen us, heard us. And when we have that, we're so hungry for it, and we always are naturally, but I think maybe even more so now. Because, somebody likes something on Facebook, you're like, well, was it really you? Or was it just your Hootsuite or whatever? You can begin to wonder. And so anything that makes us more human, I think, is an advantage, and just use it that way.
Boy, I couldn't agree more. That absolutely is true. And I know, Sarah, in your business, you definitely talk about what is it called, human potential and human validation and validity a lot more than I do in my business. That isn't, in my business, I'm talking about how do I reach people, how do I sell to them. But in your business, you really are talking about the value of a person. And that is so impressive to me. It's just so far outside of where my main focus lies. I mean, I'm thinking of people, obviously, but I'm not. You really place tremendous value on people.
Well, I think you do too, honey. Please.
Well, I
And,
do, but
and I mean, at least it's my belief that that's the foundation, is our common humanity. And reaching them is great, but reaching them in the way you want to, reaching them at a human level is the way you're going to be able to give them some value. If,
absolutely.
if the only value you give a person is the fact that I see you and I know you're here, I know you're right there, that can be the best value they got all day.
Yeah, that we've all seen
And
that.
every single person that you come in contact with deserves that. If you're at the grocery store or wherever you are, if you can give that and hold that, you are giving so much to all of us. You know, and we all know it. We feel it. When boy, we were at McDonald's. Sorry, but we were.
No, say
And
it. So,
this is a rare occurrence, but the person that was behind the counter was just on such autopilot. It was a drive-through, and this young man was just like handing money, handing food, no eye contact, no nothing. And that's really unusual for me. I hardly ever run into that where I can't, find a spark. And I felt badly for him. This is your life, and this is what you're doing all day, every day. And these are people that are coming by in front of you. They're humans. They're just say hello and look in their eyes. But that's where he's at in his life. But I think we all need it, and he needs it too. He needs it more than maybe the rest of us. And hopefully he's getting it somewhere, because he ain't getting it at his job because he's not giving it.
yeah, I've been there, seen that. There's
Yeah.
a there's a coffee shop I go to every single day. And it's a chain. It's Starbucks. Those,
Starbucks, McDonald's, we're human. We admit it.
I'm a person. But I go to this one specific Starbucks because, man, every single day they know that I'm there with my sister. It's hi Julia, how are you? And they know it's beyond the memorized my drink thing. It's the chit-chatting, and we got to know each other a little bit better, and one of the guys got married last weekend. I mean, it has made my relationship so much stronger. Actually, this is a whole sales thing, isn't it? Now that I'm thinking about it, this is the whole thing about sales.
Well, it's building a relationship, and it's building it from your heart instead of just building it because I know this is a technique, and if I have an autoresponder, that's better than if I let them, ignore them for 2 weeks. Well, it is better, and the reason it's better is because you're dealing with human beings, not because, you flipped a switch and therefore you're more likely to have the ATM spit some money out at you. You're dealing with real people, and that's why it's more effective.
And what you showed us, I think, is so much better, actually, than an autoresponder. Because, yeah, you've got a lot of canned response in there, but how long does it take to write one line of something very personal? And you've just shortcut the whole thing. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So I appreciate you sharing that tip, Julia. That was great.
Well, I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. If you add the "Hi, Mary Jo" at the front, and boy, I'm really loving your widget. That is so incredibly cool. Blah 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 blah, and then you go into your canned piece, and then you have the ending, and that's information. I just love it. I got to tell you something though. I used that years ago, and I probably haven't used that tool in 5 years.
Yes.
Are you being human again, Sarah?
I'm being human. He's going to school.
Kiss your baby goodbye.
Yeah. Have a good day. And here's the other baby. Yeah, sorry. That's what time it is here in California.
Well, we're coming into the home stretch. We're down to the last 4 minutes. And
Have a
in
good
the
day.
last 4 minutes, I would really like to ask my two partners if they would talk a little bit about what it is that they do, what they need next, and how we can all work together. I would really love to hear that. Sarah, actually, let's start with Linda, then we'll go to Sarah, and then Sarah, you can throw it back to me, and we'll wrap it up. Linda?
So this is a personal business pitch.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Tell us what you're looking for.
All right. So I'm a mobile marketing expert, and what I do is I help my business clients to increase revenue using online technology, especially internet and smartphones. You can't go anywhere today without someone using their smartphone to access the internet, and I'm just merging the two together. So that's what I do, working on updating some websites of my own because I've been the cobbler's kid for so long.
How do we reach you, Linda? How do we reach you?
Well, right now the best way to reach me is my personal email address, which is linda@lindakaye.com.
Excellent. That is fantastic. Thank you, Linda. That is really good. So if you'd like to get in touch with Linda to know more about mobile marketing and smartphone marketing, which I personally think is fascinating, and I'm glad to know an expert in the field, linda@lindakaye.com, and Kaye is spelled Kaye. Sarah, tell us about yourself.
Well, Sarah Coolidge is my name, and you can see, I'm assuming right here, my website, ceospacewest.com. I'm happy to be a director with CEO Space. CEO Space is an organization that helps grow small and medium-sized businesses. And if you're interested in that or learning more about it, please check out my website. What I do personally, more than that, is help people that are trying to get going and move forward, increase their momentum, and push them to do a little bit more than maybe what they thought they were going to do. Ask them, is that really enough? So stretch coaching and momentum coaching. But I really love to help people figure out what's the thing that's holding them back right now. So part of that is moving into a bigger business model sometimes it's not. So please contact me if you'd like. Check out my website. That's the best way to reach me.
And your email address? What is your
my email? Okay, email is sarah@sarahcoolidge.com. It's the easiest way to find me.
And Sarah is with an H on the end. S-A.
Yeah, yes.
Sarah Coolidge. Awesome. Well, that brings it back to me, and we're right at 1 minute to go. I'm Julia, and my email is julia@juliaflynnwerre.com, and worry is spelled WERRE.com. And my website is wordofmouthwired.com, and what I specialize in doing is helping you find the fastest way to accelerate your income with your client base. So that's going to be through technology products, through target logistics, demographics, coming up with strategy. And then I work with my two counterparts, with Sarah and with Linda, to implement and help you to move forward. The three of us are a wonderful team that can help you to accelerate your business. Join us again on Friday, that's right, on Friday, for our private lessons, $7 per month subscription. You can contact me directly through my website, wordofmouthwired.com, so that you can see how you can participate with us in our private group on Fridays. And then join us again on Monday if you would like to be someone who is interviewed and discuss what your business is, what your product, what your service, and what your tip is, please contact me as well. We would love to have you on our show, and we would love to hear what it is that's helping you move forward in your business. Again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Happy Monday.
Great Monday.